What I'm saying is I don't believe the history we've been taught. Here's a good example. Have you ever heard about Lewis and Clark going across the Mississippi? In 1803, there was nothing there supposedly back in those days. Okay, so now think about that. So we're talking about like 200 years ago. There was nothing west of the Mississippi as far as the America was concerned. Now talk about when these cities were founded and became cities like we know today. And explain to me how that makes even a lick of sense. Like, so how did Chicago go from like literally like a tent city in 1840 to Chicago like we know it by 1860? You think about all the central planning that would have took. Then you go like to places like San Francisco. San Francisco like had 1,000 people in like 1840. And then there's a panoramic shot very famously that shows the whole city in 1873. And it's a full-grown city. There ain't one bit of construction happening right there, but the whole city is fully grown. San Francisco was supposedly discovered in 1776. So this is around the time what it would have got its name. Well, here's the interesting thing. There's old maps that are 200 years older than that actually either have S. Francisco on it in that same area, or they straight up say San Francisco. Where Chicago is at, there's old maps from like the 1500s that say Shalaga.
This might just be the best flat earth proof you've ever heard. What if I told you the sun isn't 93 million miles away like we've always been taught? In fact, it's much, much closer. Stick with me because this is going to completely change how you think about the world around us. We've all been told a story since childhood. The sun is a massive ball of fire, burning away 93 million miles from Earth. Oh, and by some cosmic coincidence, it's 400 times larger than the moon, but also 400 times farther away, which is why they appear to be the same size in the sky. Sounds convenient, right? But what if this is all based on assumptions that no one has ever really questioned? Here's the issue. If the sun is truly that far away, how does it behave the way it does? Why do we see the sun moving in the sky as if it's much closer? And why does it look so similar in size to the moon, which we've been told is only a fraction of its size? Something doesn't quite add up. Now let's flip the script. What if the sun isn't millions of miles away? What if it's much, much closer, only a few thousand miles above us, and the same size as the moon? Imagine the sun acting more like a spotlight, hovering over a flat plane circling above us and shining its light down, not for billions of people across the globe, but for specific regions below. In this model, the sun moves around above the Earth, and when it's close, it appears to rise. It travels overhead, shining down on us like a bright lamp, and as it moves away, it looks like it's setting, not because it's disappearing over a curve, but because it's simply moving out of view, fading away due to perspective. Let's take this a bit further. Remember the ancient Greek philosopher Eratosthenes? He supposedly proved the Earth was round by measuring the shadows cast at 2 different locations. Well, that same experiment can be explained on a flat Earth if the sun is small and close to the surface. The math still works out. What changes is our perspective. When you observe the sun moving across the sky, notice how it seems to shrink and fade as it moves into the distance, almost as if it's approaching a vanishing point. This is what's known as the point of convergence on the horizon. It's the same effect you see when you look down a long road. The further away things are, the smaller they appear until they're out of sight. The sun isn't dipping below the curve of a globe. It's just moving far enough away that you can't see its light anymore. Simple, right? And if the sun were really 93 million miles away, would it shrink as it sets? Or would it just stay the same size and suddenly drop below the horizon? This is where the flat Earth model offers a different and surprisingly logical perspective. Intrigued yet? Whether you believe in the flat Earth or not, it's always worth questioning what we've been taught. The idea of a much closer, smaller sun opens up a whole new way of thinking about our world. If you want to dive deeper into this and explore more mind-blowing ideas, check out more videos on this page.
Good morning, aloha from Florida. So a few years ago now, one of the groups that I was adminning on Facebook that had, I think 20 or 30,000 people in it at the time. That group has like 60,000 people in it right now. I asked them, I said, hey, would you guys mind sharing with me what has the knowledge of flat Earth done for you or to you? And, I said, not if you just think maybe the Earth is flat or you believe it's flat, but you know that it's flat. Because after a while, there's so much evidence, it's no longer a belief or a consideration. It's an absolute knowing that the Earth is flat and stationary. So Lots of answers came back, hundreds and hundreds of answers came back, but out of those hundreds of answers, 3 answers kept coming up repeatedly. And here they are. One of them is the knowledge of flat Earth has given me more peace of mind. Another one was that the knowledge of flat Earth has given me a greater sense of freedom. And the third one is that all 3 of these came up a lot of times, dozens of times each on these answers, out of just hundreds of responses. But the third one was that the knowledge of flat Earth has given me a closer connection to my Creator. That's what truth does. Truth creates peace. Truth sets you free. Truth gives you a closer, stronger connection to our Creator or to Spirit. So keep researching, keep seeking and finding. The Earth is flat, and that's an absolute scientific fact. If you don't know it yet, there is a preponderance of evidence. There is a preponderance of professionals promoting our enclosed, stationary, topographical, electrical plane that we commonly call flat Earth. Have a great day. God bless.
Yo, this life of luxury got them showing love to me. Feet up at my desk, got a man to respect. No matter how many times I've cheated, death is coming. So bring on what's next, they ain't scared. My spirit's just been getting prepared. There's a whole nother side of me, y'all better beware. 30 years later, ain't no Berenstain Bears. Mirror, mirror on the wall, tell me who really cares. Anyways, don't get your panties anyways. Bring them on down, baby, time to celebrate. Promise to you, ain't no better time than now. We'll motivate while we doing it, let's find a crowd. We contenders, roll up on them holding signs that say hooks slow you down, jabs make you die.
Alright, so it's almost 2025, and the only picture that we have of the Earth that's allegedly real is from 1972. So here's my question to all the people that think the Earth is a ball. How did you guys verify that this was taken from the vacuum of space, opposed to just a model? Such as the Lola project, where they had models of the moon and mapped out every single little detail. So how did you guys verify this isn't just what they did of the Earth? So I'm going to ask again, because I know everybody's going to divert. How did you guys verify this was taken from the vacuum of space? And if you can't verify it, then just be intellectually honest for once. People might actually give you some respect.
Let's talk about gravity for a minute. A lot of people think that gravity is the reason things fall to the earth. And people believe that without gravity, you would just float off into outer space. Well, this is a huge misconception. It's not true at all. In fact, we don't even need gravity to explain why things fall. The reason things fall is simply because they are denser than the medium surrounding it. For instance, the reason I'm sitting in this seat right now, not floating up into the air, is because I am denser than the air. Take a balloon. If you fill a balloon with air, with your breath, and drop it, it will fall. It may not fall very quickly, but it will fall. Take that same balloon and fill it with helium, and it floats. So did gravity, is gravity smart? Does gravity know that I filled that balloon with helium, therefore it lets it go up into the sky? No. The reason the balloon filled with helium floats is because helium is less dense than air. It's real simple, guys. It's so simple a child could understand it.